Hello, fourth grade. I am back for our week number 7 math lessons, and I want to let you know that I really need you to work hard. I'm noticing a little bit of a decline in the effort that's coming in from my fourth grade students, and that's concerning for me. So I really need you guys to refocus, regroup, and get back on track like you were the first couple of weeks of school. It's only week 7, so you can't be losing steam already. That's a little concerning for me. So I need you to really refocus and really get back on track and really make sure that you're doing your best work in everything that you're doing, and make sure you're doing all of the work as well and handing it in and doing everything you're supposed to be doing every day. You are not in the building, so you're not here doing the work, and I can't be always, making sure that you're doing it. You're not, because you're not right here with me. But so that means there's a lot more responsibility on your part because you have chosen to learn from home. So I really need you to show me much more effort. Like I said, I'm a little concerned with my fourth graders at home that are learning. They're not producing the same level of work and not doing all of the work either, like you were doing at the beginning of this remote learning journey. So please make sure that you are completing everything that you are supposed to be completing and doing it independently. Yes, you can ask questions every once in a while, but doing it independently so that way I know what you know. And really make sure that you're paying attention. Really make sure. I've noticed some of you're not even watching the videos, so it's very concerning for me. So I need you. So I'm hopeful that you'll watch this video. I will be making some phone calls home as well, because I need you to really. I'm getting very nervous for my fourth graders that are learning from home. So please take this seriously. This is important work that you are doing from home. All right, now we are going to be working on lesson 2 in our module 2. You're going to start on page 35. So please have all those papers in front of you and ready to follow along while I teach this lesson to you. Okay. So we're starting on page 35, and we are subtracting. Last time we were adding. This time, this thing is just not really where I want it to be. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, so last time we were working on addition, and we were adding whole numbers to assess reasonableness. Now we are going to be subtracting whole numbers to assess reasonableness. And before we begin the lesson, I want to just remind you a little bit about subtraction. So when we set up a subtraction problem, we always have to make sure that the biggest number, right, the largest number is on top. You cannot take something away from something that's less than. If I only have 2 apples, I cannot give somebody 4 apples if I physically only have 2, right? So you've always got to make sure that that bigger number is on top. Also, there's going to be lots of regrouping. That's what happens as you go up in the grade levels. Your numbers get bigger and you have to regroup. So that's something that I've been noticing with my kiddos in the building. Regrouping can be a little bit of a struggle. So I'm guessing that you remotely need those reminders as well, especially because you're not right here with me. So please make sure that you're paying attention. If you have a smaller digit on top of a larger digit within your number, you will have to regroup. And again, you always have to make sure you put the number itself, the larger number on top, but the digits are those individual place values, those individual digits in the place value in your number. So just a couple of things to remind you of when you're thinking about subtraction. So when we are done this lesson, you will be able to subtract whole numbers greater than 1,000 using place value and a grid with regrouping. Remember, we used a grid in our addition to help us line up our place values so that way our digits were all lined up within our numbers. So biologists classify living things on Earth by kingdoms. The approximate number of species in 2 different kingdoms are shown. How many more fungi species are there than plant species? So we have this great chart here, and it tells us there's the approximate number. So this would be like an about. This is rounding. So it's about the number of species per kingdom. So in the fungi kingdom, there are about 611,000 species, different kinds of fungi. In the plant species, there are about 298,000 different species of plants. So how many more fungi species are there than plant species? So using this question, this already is telling me which one has more. I don't even have to, if I did not have that chart, looking at this question, I would already be able to tell that my fungi species has more than my plant species, because the question says how many more fungi species are there than plant species. So fungi has more than plants. So I know, and then looking at my numbers, I can see that clearly that the fungi has more. So how am I going to write 611,000? Well, I know that 611 looks like this, and it's 611,000. So my comma tells me to say 1,000, and then I'm going to have 3 zeros after it. This is 611,000. And I want to know how many more, and we want to write the difference. When they're talking about how many more, we're going to be subtracting. So I know I'm going to put a subtraction symbol. Now when I write this next number, I need to make sure that I'm lining up my place values. 298,000. 2 in my 100,000s place. A 9 in my 10,000s place. 8 in my thousands place. And then I have zeros in my hundreds, tens, and 1 places. So now I can subtract. So if I have 0 minus 0, obviously it is 0. 0 minus 0, 0. And 0 minus 0, 0. Now I have 1 minus 8. If I have 1, can I give someone else 8? Can I take 8 away from 1? No. So I'm going to have to regroup in my 10,000s place. I'm going to have to regroup one of these 10,000s. And there's only 1, so that's going to now become a 0. And this 1 in my thousands place will now be 11. So now I can do 11 minus 8. 11 minus 8 is 3. Now I've got 0 minus 9. I cannot do 0 minus 9. So I need to regroup in my 100,000s place. So my 600,000 becomes 500,000. And now I'm going to have 10,000s. 10 minus 9 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. So I have 313,000 more fungi species. So that's about how many more fungi species there are than plant species. Okay, page 36. So we have a natural history museum, and it has 102,248 spider and scorpion specimens and 10,428 bird specimens. How many more spider and scorpion specimens are there than bird specimens? So reading that question, how many more spider and scorpion specimens are there than bird specimens? This tells me I have more spider and scorpion specimens than bird specimens. I mean, I can look at these two numbers. I see my spider and scorpions is bigger than my bird number. So use the grid to help you solve the problem. So how could we use subtraction to solve this problem? Well, we could. So I can subtract the number of bird specimens from, oops, sorry, I spelled that wrong, I apologize. The number of spider and scorpion specimens. So I could take the number of bird specimens and subtract them from the number of spider and scorpion specimens. That means the spider and scorpion specimens are going to be first, right? That's the bigger number, so that's going to go on top. Now, when we subtract, we always start in the ones place. Just like when we add, we always start in the ones place. It doesn't matter. Adding and subtracting, you will always begin in the ones place. That is a absolute have to, no negotiation, no if, ands, or buts allowed. Have to start in the ones place. So I'm going to first put my number of spider and scorpion specimens in my grid down here. So I have a 1 in the 100,000s place, a 0 in the thousands place, a 2 in the thousands place, a 2 in the hundreds place, a 4 in the tens place, and an 8 in the ones place. 102,248. Then my bird, I've got 10,425. I don't have any 100,000s in this number. So I have a 1 in my 10,000s place, a 0 in my thousands place, 4 in my hundreds, 2 in my tens, and 5 in my ones. Get that a little closer, sorry. That's probably easier to see like that. Now I can subtract. 8 minus 5, we get 3. 4 minus 2, I get 2. Now looks like I'm probably going to have to do some regrouping. 2 minus 4, cannot do. If I have 2, I cannot give 4 away. So I'm going to come to my thousands. My 2 becomes a 1. And in my hundreds place, now I have 12. 12 minus 4, we have 8. 1 minus 0, we have 1. I have 0 minus 1. I cannot do 0 minus 1. So I have to regroup in my 100,000s place. I'm going to regroup 1 100,000. That's going to be 0. So now I have 10 10,000s. 10 minus 1 is 9. So the difference is 91,823. So which place values did we regroup? We could see that we regrouped the hundreds place and the 10,000s place. Those are the two places we had to regroup. We cannot do 2 minus 4. You cannot do 0 minus 1. So those are your two places that you had to regroup. So if we use rounding to estimate, our possible estimate could be, well, let's look at this. If we round, I'm going to come up here. If I round this number to the nearest 100,000, my 0 tells my 1 to stay, and everything to the right becomes a 0. And I'm going to round this one to the nearest 10,000s. I'm always going to do it to my biggest place value. So my 0 tells my 1 to stay, and everything else becomes a 0. So if I round this, 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 0 minus 1, can't do. I've got to do some regrouping. So that becomes a 0, and now I have a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. So I'm going to come back down here. Use rounding to estimate the answer. We said that our estimate was 90,000. So is it a good estimate? Yeah, look at how close that is. So yes, because it is close to 91,823. Those two numbers are super close. So that's how I know my rounding, how I estimated, is reasonable. Okay, now we're gonna step it out. Of the 41,415 plant and animal species on a conservation group's endangered species list, 16,306 are listed as near extinction. Oh, that's so sad to me. Makes me sad to think of how many animals are near extinction. That means there won't be any more of them left if they go extinct. How many of the species on the list are not considered near extinction? So there are this many plant and animal species on the endangered species list, and there are this many that are near extinction. So first we're going to round to the nearest 10,000 and subtract. So if I round this number, 41,415, to the nearest 10,000, what do I get? I get 40,000. My 1 tells my 4 to stay the same. If I round 16,306 to the nearest 10,000, my 6 tells my 1 to get bigger, right? So I'm going to have 20,000. So 40,000 minus 20,000 equals 20,000. So now we're going to take our two numbers and we're going to write them in this grid to help us solve. So which number am I going to put on top? I hope you said 41,415. That's the one that needs to go on top. So I'm going to start it over here, 41,415. And then underneath that number, I need to subtract 16,306. 16,306. We always begin in the ones place. 5 minus 6 I cannot do. I need to regroup, so that will become a 0. Now I have 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 minus 3, 1. Can I do 1 minus 6? No way. So my 4 will become a 3, and now I have 11. 11 minus 6 is 5, and 3 minus 1 is 2. 25,109. So, what place values needed to be regrouped? Our ones place and our thousands place. So there are 25,109 species considered endangered but not yet near extinction. So does your estimate show your answer is reasonable? Well, we rounded and we got 20,000. And when we did the actual subtraction, we got 25,000. So yes, because 20,000 is close to 25,109. If we had rounded and we got 20,000, and we say we had subtracted and we got 35,109, maybe we didn't regroup or something, would our estimate be reasonable? No, it wouldn't, because 35,000 is it's 15,000 plus more than 20,000. That's how I know I must have done something wrong here, and I need to go back and check this out. So that's why we're doing this estimating, because sometimes when kids subtract, or people, I mean just anybody in general, when people subtract, if you don't have an idea of what your answer should be close to, and you just subtract and you're like, okay, there's my answer. What if you made a mistake in here? What if this ended up being a 3? You would then, when you wrote it down here, you'd be like, wait a second, 35,000 is not close to 20,000. Let me look back here again and check this over. So that's the reason why we're doing this estimation, is to help us make sure that we're not making a mistake when we subtract. So now we are going to check for understanding. So a scientific database lists 7,858 species of amphibians, and another database lists 5,513 species of mammals. How many more amphibian species than mammal species are listed? So I need to do some subtraction. Which number will I put on top? Will I put the 7,858 or the 5,513? I hope you're thinking or saying 7,858 will be, and then subtracted 5,500. I was getting ready to write my 5 in the hundreds place. 5,513. 8 minus 3, we have 5. 5 minus 1, we have 4. 8 minus 5, we have 3. And 7 minus 5, we have 2. 2,345. Wonder if they did that on purpose to have those digits, 2, 3, 4, 5. They probably did. They like to do stuff like that. I'm just going to get this a little closer for you so I can get that better. Okay, so let's look at our numbers. We're going to estimate first, so that means we're doing some rounding, and then we'll find the difference. So if I have 518,000, I'm going to round these, and this one's 295,000. I'm going to round them to the nearest hundred thousands. So I have 500,000 minus, my 9 tells my 2 to do what? Get bigger, minus 300,000. So that equals 200,000. I had to kind of write it at an angle. Sorry about that. Didn't have a lot of space. We'll have more room over here. So we should be close to 200,000 when we subtract. All right. 2 minus 3. Can I do it? Nope. Let me get you a little bit closer. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure that you can see the numbers. It's kind of a small space for this. Okay. That's better. I cannot do 2 minus 3, so I'm going to regroup. My 1 will become a 0. My 2 becomes a 12. Now I can do 12 minus 3, and I get 9. Can I do 0 minus 6? Nope. So this 1 will become a 0 in the hundreds place, and now I have 10 tens. 10 minus 6 is 4. Can I do 0 minus 7? Nope. So my 8 will become a 7. And my hundreds, I will have 10 hundreds. 10 minus 7 is 3. 7 minus 5, oh, I can do that one. But can I do 1 minus 9? Nope. So my 5 in my 100,000 place now becomes 400,000. And my 1 in my 10,000 place becomes 11 10,000s. 11 minus 9 is 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Is my answer reasonable? Sure is. It's close to 200,000, right? Okay. Number 3. Move this over and back a little. Trying not to be crooked for you. All right. So we're going to round to the nearest 100,000. My 6 tells my 5, get bigger. This one will round to the nearest 10,000s. My 8 tells my 4 to become a 5. So when I subtract these, I will have to do a little regrouping. 10 minus my 5 and then 5 minus 0. So I should be close to 550,000 when I subtract. 3 minus 1, 2. 2 minus 1, 1. 0 minus 9, nope, can't do it. Got to go to my 7. My 7 will become a 6. Now I have 10 hundredths. So 10 minus 9 is 1. 6 minus 8, nope. So my 6 in my 10,000ths place becomes a 5. And my 6 in my thousandths place is a 16 in my thousandths place. So 16 minus 8 is 8. 5 minus 4 is 1. And 5 minus nothing is 5. So 518,112, is that close? Sure is. And our last one on this page. So first we're going to estimate to the nearest thousands. So our 7 tells our 5. Let's get up to a 6. Our 6 tells our 2. Go up to a 3. And when I subtract, I get 3,000. So let's see when we subtract if we're close. 0 minus 5. No way. Turn my 6 in my tens place to a 5. And my 0 in my ones place to 10 ones. 10 ones minus 5 ones is 5. 5 minus 9, no can do. So my 7 in my hundreds place will become a 6, and now I can have 15 tens. So 15 minus 9 is 6. 6 minus 6, 0. And 5 minus 2, 3. Am I close to my estimate? Sure am. I'm only 65 off. That one's pretty good. Okay. So now we're on the on your own section. Remember with this section, if you want to pause the video, you are more than welcome to, and do this independently, and then come back to the video and check and make sure that your answers match mine. Or you can stay right with me, follow along, and we'll do this together. Your choice. All right, number 5. At present, the highest peak of the Appalachian Mountains is 6,684 feet. Millions of years ago, before weathering and erosion, that means weathering will remove some of the mountain will wear away. So that's what weathering and erosion is. Before weathering and erosion had occurred, the highest peak was about 30,000 feet. What is the difference between the highest peak millions of years ago and the highest peak today? Explain how you know your answer is reasonable. Well, we have 30,000. I'm going to do it over here. Minus 6,684. So this strategy I showed the 4th graders here in class just last week, actually, and I'm going to show it to you. When we have lots of zeros, we know we're going to have to go. Look at how far we're going to have to go. We can't do any of these, right? We have to go all the way to the 3 in the 10,000ths place. So I'm going to box in all my zeros because I know they all have to regroup from this 1, 3 in the 10,000ths place. Now, normally I would turn this into a 10 and then a 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, right? So an easier strategy you could use is to say, well, I know these are all going to be 9s, and then my 10s place, or my 1s place, I apologize, my 1s place will become a 10. It's just a quick little strategy you can use, or you can make this a 10, cross it out, 9. Make this a 10, cross it out, make it a 9. 10, cross it out, make it a 9, and then, of course, the 1s place will always be a 10. It's just a strategy. If you want to use it, you can. So 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. 2 minus nothing is 2. So the difference is 23,316. And then what was our label? Our label is feet. And how is our answer reasonable? Well, if we round 6,684 to the nearest 10,000s place. Our 6 would make this 10,000, right? And then 30,000 is already rounded. So if I do, I should have left more space. Let me start over again. So 30,000 minus 10,000 equals 20,000. So that's how I know my answer is reasonable, because they are close to one another. All right, number 6. Some biologists predict that there are about 27,500 species of the kingdom Chromista and 36,400 species in the kingdom Protozoa. How many more species of Protozoa are predicted to exist than species of Chromista? So, which number is bigger? Our Chromista or our Protozoa? Our Protozoa is bigger. So we have 36,400 minus 27,500. So zeros make it easy, right? 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. But here we go, 4 minus 5. Can I do it? No, I can't. So I've got to regroup. My 6 in my thousands place becomes a 5. And then my 4 becomes a 14. So I have 14 hundredths. 14 minus 5 is 9. 5 minus 7, no can do. So my 3 in my 10,000s place becomes a 2. And then my 5 in my thousands place becomes a 15. So I have 15 thousands minus 7 thousands. We have 8. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have 8,900 more species of what? Species of Protozoa. Okay, number 7. So here we are where we're going to be rounding first so we can estimate. And then we're going to do the subtraction so we can compare and make sure that our estimate is right. Sorry, I keep having to adjust this camera. I apologize. So our 6 tells our 4 to become a 5. So I have 500,000 minus 0 tells our 2 to stay at 2, 200,000. So 500,000 minus 200,000 is 300,000. So let's see if we will be close. 2 minus 8, nope, can do. So my 1 becomes a 0, my 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 0 minus 9, no can do. So my 1 becomes a 0. Now I have 10 minus 9, which is a 1. 0 minus 9, can't do it. Uh-oh, I've got a 0 here. I can't regroup there either. So my 6 will become a 5. My 0 will become a 10. And then this, then I need to make this a 9 in order to regroup over here for a 10. That's where we get a little tricky, right? So 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 0 is 5. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So you should have 258,114. And are they close? Yes, they are. All right, number 8. Here's where we can use that strategy. But first, let's do some rounding. So we're going to have 8,000 minus my 5 tells my 2, hey, mister, get bigger. So we have 5,000. So I can box in all my zeros because I know I have to regroup all the way over here to my 8. 9, 9, 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. 7 minus 2 is 5. Are we close? Yes, we are. And our last one, well, not our last one, second to last one. Let's estimate. 8 tells my 8 to get bigger, so I'll have 90,000 minus 6 tells my 1 get bigger. I'll have 20,000. So I have 70,000. I have 1 minus 4. Can I do it? Nope. So I'll regroup over here to my 4 in the tens place, which becomes a 3 in the tens place. And my 1 in my ones place, now I have 11 ones. 11 ones minus 4 ones is 7 ones. 3 minus 0 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 6 is 2. 8 minus 1 is 7. 72,437. And we are close. Alright, so number 10. Write and solve a problem that requires finding the difference between 68,324 and 12,608. So what problem could we write? This is kind of like you get to be the teacher, kind of, and you get to come up with a problem that your students would have to solve. So maybe we could, let's see, what would have a lot of numbers in it? Maybe a book. So let's do Maya read a book with 68,324 words in it. And another book with 12,608 words. How many more words were in the first book than the second? Okay, so we're trying to find the difference between the number of words in the first book compared to the number of the words in the second book. So let's solve this. 68,324 minus 12,608. 4 minus 8, no can do. Regroup in my tens place, so my 2 becomes a 1. My 4 is a 14. 14 minus 8, 6. 1 minus 0, 1. 3 minus 6, no way. So my 8 becomes a 7. My 3 becomes a 13. 13 minus 6, 7. 7 minus 2, 5. 6 minus 1, 5. So there were 55,716 more words. So for your homework, please complete Module 2, Lesson 2. So it would be 2.2, the black and white worksheet that's immediately after this page. And either make a copy of it or turn it into me at school. And I will see you for the next video whenever you have a chance to watch it this week. All right, thank you. Keep working hard. Bye.